Hello everyone, welcome back to yet another episode of the Puerto Rico Skyview channel. My name is Emmanuel Santiago and today I'm gonna talk about the 85mm f1.2 RF lens from Canon. I owned the EF counterpart, but before talking a little bit more about the lens, I want to thank all of those subscribers that asked about how I was doing, because I was battling with certain virus 19 that we all know, and the virus, it was kicking my butt the very first days, but gladly on day number 10 I tested negative and I'm feeling great. Wait, before we begin, if you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I will be pumping out videos like this one weekly. Hopefully, I am trying to move to 2 videos a week, so let's see how that goes. I will be reviewing this new RF lineup, basing on my real world experience, and I will be reviewing the video side of things. Because yeah, for photos there are tons and tons of reviews, but for video I find that here on YouTube the content is a little bit lacking on that side of things. So let's definitely begin with this review. Okay guys, first things first, let's talk about the build quality of this amazing lens. I have it right behind me here, paired up with my EOS R5, which is an awesome camera. And I might say this lens is very heavy. On its own, it weighs almost like 3.5 pounds or 4 pounds. Paired up with the EOS R5, you may be looking at 5.5 to 6 pounds. In my experience, it feels like 20 pounds on your arms or on your hands. And if you don't lift weights, well, this will be your only gym, the only gym that you will need. Now, my favorite part of the lens is that there's definitely that front element. Look at that. You can definitely see the lens opening up, those aperture plates. It is awesome build quality. I might dare say one of the best from Canon yet. And I am very proud of it because each and every time I take out this lens, people ask me and they notice. Even if they don't know anything about photography, they really notice the size and that front glass, and they can like perceive that it is something very premium. Okay, so having said that, the weight is something that I don't really appreciate about the lens, as well as its price. The price might be the ugliest feature that this lens has. So having said that, I really want to make emphasis on the quality, image quality of this lens. Let's start out with sharpness. This lens has taken me by surprise in every possible way when it comes to image quality, and sharpness is definitely one of them, if not the best capability that this lens has. Because even at f1.2, wide open at f1.2, the images are tack sharp. Those images that came out for the first time in this lens when I first purchased this one 2 years ago, man, it really eased all my doubts. It made all of my doubts go away, and it really made me wanted to stay with this lens. This lens has superb image quality when it comes to sharpness in photos as well as video, so you can see from the sample footage that I am providing. Now, I will provide a link to a Google Drive where you can download footage from this lens, both in the terms of photography and videography, so you guys can be the judge and really pixel peep, look into the details, and see if this lens is for you or not. The second quality that this lens has that blew my mind was its autofocus capability. This lens is really heavy. That means that the elements inside of this lens are huge, are heavy, and are very difficult to move. But what really surprised me is the accuracy and the speed from this lens, because the EF counterpart was really lacking in that department. It was really slow, even though it is almost half of this lens's size. it was really slow when autofocusing, and sometimes it was missing focus a lot depending on the camera body that you had attached to it. I don't know if it's because the EOS R5 is a new camera, because I own the EOS R, which is not as new as the EOS R5 or EOS R6, but the autofocus was very speedy even in the EOS R, and pictures were always tack sharp. And even though I had a few misses in terms of photography, they were minimal, and I can assure you that I feel the confidence when shooting with this lens, setting it to autofocus, even in video. As you can see from these images and from these video clips that I am putting on the screen, the autofocus, it's very sticky on these cameras, and when you move backwards or forward, the tracking ability that this lens has due to the nano USM motors, I think Canon nailed it in that department. I don't know how in the future will they make something better than this, but to date, my perfect lens in both sharpness department and autofocus capability. And last, I wanted to talk about distortion, chromatic aberrations, those kind of compromises when you have awesome lenses like this that open up as wide as 1.2. Now, this lens, it has almost no distortion at all. I dare to say that it doesn't have distortion at all, and chromatic aberration is non-existent, next to non-existent. You really need to be very close to your subjects, and there has to be a lot of lines, diagonal lines, or some complicated pattern for the eye to see some chromatic aberrations, because to date I haven't been able to see any purple fringing or green artifacts on the image, either for video or photography. So that makes me very happy, because I am a very pixel peeper myself, and when I see those chromatic aberrations or image distortions for that matter, it really bumps me out, because I want to deliver the highest quality possible to my clients. And that brings me to the last point of this video. Who is this lens for? Well, if you're a pro photographer or pro videographer and you want the absolute best image quality, the fastest autofocus from a prime lens of this caliber, 85 1.2, which is a unicorn lens, if you might say. This lens is definitely something that you won't regret purchasing once you take that first photo, once you take that first video with this lens. But if you're starting out and you are tight on a budget, I deeply recommend that you look into other options out there in the market, because it is very expensive, and you will end up using it for portraits, maybe some interviews. There's not much that you can do on a daily basis with this lens. It is not practical to put such a heavy lens in your backpack if you're not gonna shoot a portrait or shoot some kind of interview or something like that. So keep that in mind. But besides all of that, it is my jewel. It is my favorite lens of all time. No regrets on this purchase. I know that for the same price you could get a camera, many prime lenses, budget prime lenses, lighting equipment, sound equipment. So be very judgmental when you're making those purchases. And as always, I'm gonna provide to you images, video that you can download, and you can edit for yourself. You can see for yourselves and be the judges in terms of image quality for photos or videos, and make your purchases in a more intelligent manner. So guys, I hope that you really like this video. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Stay healthy, guys. See ya.